Muted. Hello, world. How are we doing this evening? And we're just gonna go straight away. Silence on the set. Actually, no, we probably should do audio checks just to be sure.
Yeah, we probably should do that.
Let me see if I got my audio listening right. So, Cog, give me an audio check.
Yo, mic check, mic check.
Travis, a real audio check, not garbage. You, sir, are going to lose your seat at the campfire.
Oh man, we can take it to the HR.
Was it actually not doing any audio for me?
No, that was nothing.
Really? That is super surprising. I actually was talking.
He's so done with you.
I'm not joking.
And it was at such a weird pitch.
It was a weird pitch. I did it like at the highest octave I could, and apparently it just didn't.
I heard one tiny squeak somewhere in your mouth movements.
There we go.
That was all I picked up.
Yeah, I did a full cartoon mouse voice. Yep. I thought it was pretty good. I thought you guys would have been impressed if you could have heard it.
All right, I will put Ty back to normal. See, this is the mic position. So you're good. Just don't be doing this.
I'm gonna be doing that all day.
Don't be bobbing and weaving on the mic.
Ty is loud and others low.
Low.
Says Awesome One. Awesome One says Ty is loud and others low.
I like that. I like that.
Yes.
Travis is a funk master. You gonna flex on him?
True. Hell yeah.
All right, silence on the set in 5, 4.
All right. And we are live. The last word, LordCognito, Ebontis, Ty Guy, Travis, fresh on that Thursday evening Destiny campfire. Good to be back, gentlemen. Let's start with the cheetah. How are we doing, sir?
Let's start with you. You were the one who was gone. What you been up to, buddy?
Yeah, that's true. I've been traveling. Yeah, I mean, let's start with PAX East. That is tradition of the Lords, and we went out there, get to see all the new cool indies in development. Much smaller than past PAX East, I would say. The AAA scene is definitely down, and obviously the major publishers were not there. But got a chance to see some really cool, exciting indies. Got to shout out a couple of Midwest Games, PM Studios. Man, just some of the creativity we're seeing from some of the indie development scene is really exciting. Killer Clowns was absolutely hilarious, and I saw a couple of G.I. Joe games.
Is that like
funny?
Just more of a meme game situation, or is that going to be something like really worth the watch?
Really worth the watch. Shout out to my boy Miles Don Pierre, who's over there. He's now part of that team. I think it's Elphonic. And yeah, man, it's kind of like that. Like clowns versus humans kind of thing, like humans versus an enemy kind of thing. But the clowns got wild, crazy powers. You can capture them and do craziness, evilness. The key is going to be the support. But the game looks great. UE4. It definitely has some staying power if they continue to support it. So check that out. Oh, PoE 2. Ooh, Path of Exile 2. Got a chance to mess with that. Very impressive. And I'm a Diablo guy, and I was like, oh, I get it now. This is like hardcore for the Diablo 2 guys that really want expansive skill trees. The game looks great.
Yeah, I've heard it's Diablo 4.
What class did you play?
Last Epoch, and then Path of Exile's like the Spectrum.
Sorcerer. They had Sorcerer, Barbarian, and I believe an Archer class available for the demo. And boss battles are absolutely fantastic. This is a looker. They're coming. They are coming for Diablo. So yeah, sat down.
So I did a preview for them a couple months ago where I played the Druid class, which is very cool. And there may be more coverage in the future, but I'm interested in your thoughts. Yeah.
Bro, I got one. I'm telling you right now, it's exciting.
So it still feels like it's a decent ways away, though, right?
Yeah, we still got a while away.
Yeah. They just delayed the game by 6 months.
That's what I thought.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay,
it was supposed to come out, I think, in June or something like that. It was like pretty soon, and they delayed it until I think early next year, something like that. So it's not coming out for a while now.
Take their time. That game looks fantastic. Ton of other games.
Oh, they will. They will take their time. Yeah. I mean, how long was Path of Exile 1? They've been working on it for hell long. Yeah.
Yeah. So salute to them. And got a chance to meet a lot of content creators people I haven't seen in a long time. So that was cool. And then straight from there into Sacred Symbols 300 featuring the Iron Lord podcast.
A couple clips. How'd it go?
Bro, it was super fun. Like I've never done it's our first live show, like to ever do that in front of a crowd. The love was tremendous. what's crazy is I thought I was gonna be nervous, but I actually wasn't. Like it was, I don't know, just something came over me. Like, yo, let's just do this. Let's just have fun. Let's bug out. Sav was the star of the show. He was the
Nice.
star. Of the show. He had like a whole skit roasting us. Travis would appreciate it. It was he had like
Nice.
these old pictures and stuff of us, and
I
so
think
we
I
basically
saw
had
one
to-
of the clips. Yeah, I don't know if it was
Yeah.
King who was like in like really young
military
picture.
garb. Yeah,
That might have
out
been
of
it.
control. Yeah, bro. It was the love felt was tremendous. Also getting that under your belt, being in front of a live audience, kind of having our little topics and flow. No, it was not 3 or 4 hours in ILP time, so we were respectful
Oh
of the
yeah,
time.
you guys had was it 45 minutes or what was your
Yeah,
mark
we had a
you guys
45-minute
to
set.
hit?
Yeah, kind of like an hour set. And it was dope, man. Doing, I get to do my classic introductions of the Lords, bringing them out like almost like in wrestling foolishness. So yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Shout out to LSM, Last Stand Media Community, absolutely amazing. And then Sacred Symbols 300 went, and we had some fun segments with them, kind of roasting them. We was able to, a lot of the like Gene Park was there, a lot of other people were there.
Nice.
So we had segments kind of taking them like judge jury for some of their bad takes that we feel, and that was fun. So overall, show was amazing, and yeah, just been kind of ripping and running from then. Finally getting a chance to like. Today was the first day I got to decompress. It's been nonstop, something day after day after day. But no, it was overall, it was good, man. So salute to Pack, salute to Sacred. But yeah, that's been pretty much it. Now trying to get back to playing games again.
Yeah.
It was going on.
Travis, I know you've been busy this week letting some information go and teasing more things that are coming up. What have you been up to,
Yes.
sir? Where have you been besides not in San Francisco?
I can't actually say where I've been.
Ooh.
But yeah, I am producing IGN's cover story in April, IGN First, where we will be announcing an unannounced game on April 2nd.
World premiere.
It is actually a world premiere. So it is a game that nobody knows about, has not been, even its title isn't known. But the team working on it is a brand new studio. This is their debut game. They are called Yellow Brick Games, and I spent some time in their office up in Quebec City this week playing said game and preparing for a month-long coverage of this game. And it is the studio is comprised of almost entirely former AAA devs, including ex lead writer on Jade Empire and the franchise director for Dragon Age, the Dragon Age franchise, Mike Laidlaw. He's one of the founders of the company, and then also a bunch of former Ubisoft people who worked on Assassin's Creed in some of the earlier games and
Travis,
going
can
up
you
in
try something here for me real quick? Turn this way and
Sure.
talk.
Hi.
Okay, that shouldn't work. Is the right mic selected?
Microphone,
you don't
yeah.
sound quite like
You don't sound like your normal self. You don't sound like your normal. It sounds
Somebody
like it's picking
said
up
it, and
another
then
mic.
when you were
Oh.
talking,
Yeah.
I was wondering.
Interesting. Oh, that's a good point because this is a different computer. Yeah, you're right. It is different. My input device is.
Hello?
Hey, there's Travis.
There's Travis.
There I am.
There I am.
Hello there, friends.
Yes,
it is
yes.
I.
Hey,
just
any of
changed
you
my
audio
voice.
listeners are probably like, "Whoa,
It's
big
all
difference."
the mic.
Mhm.
Sorry
It is
about
all the
that, guys.
microphone. Everybody's like, "So much better."
So much better. Yeah.
It was
so-
coming out of my AirPod, which is not as expensive as a SM7B
No.
pure microphone.
Well, now
As
that we
it
can
turns
officially
out-
start the show.
Hello, everyone. It is I
Yes.
on my correct microphone telling you about
Yes.
video games.
Why
All
do
the
you?
common
okay,
microphone slander can stop now.
like, I don't know
Yes.
if you sound. I was trying to picture. You kind of sound like. I don't know if any of you guys have watched the show Ghosts. You kind of sound like the Thor
Mhm.
guy from Ghosts. You got
Nice.
that like.
Nice. Yeah, so where was I? Yeah, this game I will be showing to the world on April 2nd, which is on Tuesday. So I'm really excited for that, and then I've got a month-long coverage pipeline that I need to start working on right after this
I was gonna
show
ask
because
how,
I just
how many articles is like in IGN First? Is it just like what the coverage like makes of it, or what you guys have space for?
no,
How
it's
do you guys
usually
determine how many?
it's usually 2 articles a week for the whole month, so 8 articles typically. This one's a little different though because usually if we would pick a game that lots of people know about, you kind of just get to like reveal new things and do deep dives. But since nobody knows anything about this game, like the first thing we're doing on Tuesday is just sort of saying what it is and explaining what type of game it is and all that stuff. So it's going to be really cool. The studio is very talented, and I'm excited to talk about what they are, but I can't talk about the game yet.
Yeah,
except to say that I'm really excited to share it. And then also some of my coverage from GDC also started to come out this week, including my preview of Dune Awakening, the MMO survival game.
I just keep hearing good things. Like,
well, I can tell you that that was the coolest thing I saw at GDC.
Nice.
It was damn cool. I mean, the scope and the level of just thought they're putting into that game. I mean, it was every part of it. Because I kind of went in with a lot of like trepidation about like a survival game in a completely lifeless desert planet. Like that can't be fun, And they proved me wrong, man. I mean, every part of it is so thoughtfully put together. I could talk to you guys about that forever if you wanted. I mean, I don't know if we have time during the show, but I have like a lot to say about that game.
I would be curious to hear some of that just because it sounds intriguing. The previews I keep hearing are that it looks good. I think it was even the PR contact that I was watching there. They said you could change the length of your sandworm if needed. So, take that for what you will for the joking nature of it.
Yeah, I will say the character creation. I mean, if you guys played Conan Exile, they had the same sort of character customization. But the character customization is really strong in this game. I guess that's where I'll start. You get to choose like your home world, and that comes up with like a baseline for your appearance, right? So if you want to be from the Harkonnen family, you have to be from a planet where like the gas is poisonous, and so it makes your skin pale and you lose all of your hair and all that. Am I frozen?
Yeah, you're frozen, but you also have a little thumbs up.
You have a little thumbs up next to you.
Yeah, I think.
What happened?
You know that thing that happens on Mac where you if you do like a certain sign with your hands, it creates
was it like motion stuff?
Yeah, it does a bunch. Oh boy.
Three geeks said you went all stiff.
Whoa.
That's an interesting way to put it. I don't know if that's how I would have done it.
Rigor mortis set in.
Yeah. One sec. I'm just gonna reset this app.
You're fine.
It's you know what it is. You know what broke E, right?
Yeah, I get it.
It's the old camera hub.
Yep.
ElGato camera hub, which is the worst piece of software I've ever interacted with. Maybe
it's so weird. I mean,
absolutely terrible.
I don't know. I have very minimal issues with mine, so it's so
I just started using it recently, so knock on wood, nothing too crazy just yet.
Oh, I see what happened. Because this is a new computer, it decided to ask me for permission to use my camera now. After the podcast has been going for a while.
Would you like to use it? Would you like permission?
Like now is it okay if we use it? You have been using it for how long?
Yeah, the emote crashed to your computer. That's what happened. The little thumbs up popped up and be like, nope, too much.
Honestly,
at the same time.
Yeah, might be something to do with it.
The permissions thing.
You need to turn
off.
Have
you guys
seen turn off
Clippy
the paperclip? He needs to go away. Oh my God, what is that?
Oh Lord, we can't have him with this. This weekend I have him. Oh man, we're in trouble. We in trouble.
So the best part, as it cycled through colors, it just went to a floating head.
I saw it was just my head. It's just really funny.
If you're not watching the video version and you guys are on iTunes or Apple, please make sure Travis is exploding in fireworks. But if you guys do listen on audio, whether it's iTunes or Spotify, please leave us a positive review. But also go check out the video. And remember, it is on a new channel. If you guys are listening and looking for the video, I will pin it to pretty much everywhere. So if you guys need to find it. All right. You done?
Yeah, I'm done. Sorry, guys. That was too funny.
You just gonna throw those in now occasionally, just like.
Yeah. Every time you say something I like you, it's gonna get fireworks from Travis. Hey, at least it's fewer chime-ins, right? I can just emote.
No! Silent reactions.
Oh no!
You don't press the button too
damn
much.
I did
it. I played God for too long. Literally, I'm crashing it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the character creation is crazy. You get out into the world, and they do this really cool thing where I don't know how much you guys know about Dune, but I'm obviously a nerd about Dune. So there's that area that's within the giant wall on the planet that kind of keeps it relatively safe. And so when you're in that area, that's sort of like a safer PvE building area where you are able to explore it. When you build a base, it's going to stay there forever. But all the real loot is out in the deep desert, which is beyond the wall, right? The protective barrier. And there it's like PvP and you can build stuff, but that on the weekly reset, a sandstorm is going to come and kill everything and destroy all the structures you built. And so it kind of creates like a permanent versus, oh, dude, this is going to kill me.
You got to turn this off.
I really do have to turn this off. It creates like a permanent versus impermanent kind of a division in the world. And then, they basically succeed at making it not a boring desert sand game by taking advantage of like the hidden places that are described by Frank Herbert in the books, which are that like, yes, it is a barren, desolate planet that will kill you, but every single possible patch of shade is home to like life or has greenery or vegetation. And like, so there's like pockets and caves and places you can go kind of exploring and lots to do. And then, because of the Shai Hulud, you're always playing this game of the floor is lava, because if you make noise on the sand, you're going to get chased. And then also because of the sun, you have to stay out of the sun or your water level rapidly depletes, which will kill you. And so you're playing this game of like darting into cover and managing your resources. And, if you kill another a person, you can harvest their blood. You can turn that into water, or you can just drink their blood raw, which will make you sick. But
that's not great.
If you need water, sometimes that'll do. So it was just really cool. I was just impressed by the depth, and I mean, I love survival games, but I don't like a lot of survival games. Like when I find a survival game I like, it becomes like one of my favorite games ever. But there's a lot of survival games that I see people playing or that I play, and I bounce off them real quick because they just don't grab me. But Minecraft or Grounded or something like that, like when I get in, I just get so in. So
it's called what, Dune
Zinpost, I'm
Awakening,
talking about Dune Awakening. It is an
Awakening.
MMO survival game that was made by Funcom, which is the same company that made Conan Exiles. This is very much like, you could see they took all their learnings from Conan and are just leveling it up in a very different way. But
Nice.
it looks very, very cool. I would say it's more survival. The reason they call it MMO is because the servers are extremely big, like 500 players in one part of the desert. It definitely has like an MMO. I would say I saw some people online being like, it's not MMO, and I would just respectfully disagree with those comments, because I think what you've seen it in action, it definitely earns the MMO label, because survival games are typically one map, right, where you're just running around one open world area that's kind of smaller. Dune Awakening actually has multiple maps, and so like in an MMO where you're traveling around to different places and getting loaded up into different instances, it is very much like an MMO in spirit. So that game really looks cool. And then aside from that, I also had 2 reviews come out this week.
I was
South
surprised
Park.
how low one of them was.
Yes, South Park Snow Day, which I gave a 3 out of 10, unfortunately. And then a new game. Yeah, we can talk about that one, but basically, like, if you like the other South Park games, all the stuff that you liked about them is not applicable in this new one. They're not RPGs, or this one isn't an RPG. It doesn't have the South Park look where everything looked like it was made out of, paper mache or whatever, that sort of South Parky look. They just went 3D with it. But I think the biggest disappointment is that the game doesn't really have, it's very toothless. It doesn't really have any sort of like crazy jokes or moments, whether you're spelunking inside Mr. Slave or getting turned into gnome size and dodging your family's genitalia and all that other stuff that you get to do in South Park Stick of Truth and the Fractured Butthole. None of that is in this game. Basically, it's a story where like the kids are playing a game on a snow day, and that's it. There's not really any like jokes or crazy stuff that happens in it. And the combat is super boring, basically just like a typical hack and slash. And I think they claim that it's a roguelike. I actually don't know, but it has roguelike elements with a card system that is cool in concept, but it is not a roguelike because you can beat a level and then you don't go back to the very beginning if you die. There's 5 levels in the game. You can play each of them in turn, and once you've beaten all 5, you've played pretty much all the content the game has, which is about 5 hours of content, 4 to 5 hours. And even on the hardest difficulty, it's not really challenging. And I played it with 3 of my fellow really hardcore South Park friends who have been like ride or die with South Park since we were kids, and we were all just so bummed out because we love the other South Park games like Stick of Truth and Fractured Butthole. Specifically, Stick of Truth is probably on my top 5 RPGs ever. Like I love that game. It's an Obsidian RPG. It's so damn good.
Obsidian.
Yeah, because it's an Obsidian game, and they went from an Obsidian game, Stick of Truth, which is maybe a 10 of 10 game, to the Fractured Butthole, which I still think is really solid, but that was an internal Ubisoft studio. This is, and Ubisoft published the Obsidian game as well. And then this one is just oh boy, not this again. I really am going to have to turn this off. And then this one is not a Ubisoft game at all. It's I believe it's an indie studio that is like a Trey Parker, Matt Stone collaboration. Like I think it's just some sort of like small indie studio. So I feel bad that it's not better, but the really surprising thing is that it's not funny, because I feel like that's really it could have saved some of its gameplay failures if it had like moments that were memorable, but it doesn't really have that. So unfortunately that game is not good. And then the other game I reviewed is called Outpost Infinity Siege. It is one of the weirdest games I've played in a long time. It is an FPS and a tower defense and a real-time strategy and an RPG. And it kind of just throws all those things at you. And, you're running around collecting resources and then doing final stands where you have to extract all of your loot against waves of robots. And you have to build tower defense and run around with your gun and run and gun. And it's got really solid FPS mechanics, really solid real-time strategy mechanics, really solid tower defense mechanics. And really the only problem is that it's really janky. It was made by a Chinese company, and they did not do a great job on the English translation. There's in fact entire missions that are written in Chinese, and then also the voice acting is atrocious. Maybe the worst voice acting I've heard in a couple of years. And the story is pretty much like skip city. Like you should skip that story, because I watched all of it and it was a huge waste of my time. It's just really, really bad. So they kind of fail at a small section of what they try, but all the gameplay stuff is really, really cool. So I recommend playing that. If you have a PC, it's PC only, and it actually has pretty high recommended hardware too. Like I couldn't play it on my secondary PC. I had to play it on my heavy PC. And my gaming laptop, which is pretty new, couldn't handle it either. I mean, it could, but it was like on minimum settings. It wasn't a good experience. So you have to have a pretty strong PC to run it.
Sounds like the CPU is having to do a lot, much less the graphics alone. So there's a lot going on.
Yeah, the CPU on that game, I can't even imagine how much it's processing, but I gave it a 7 out of 10, despite the fact that its story is like unbearably bad, and it has entire sections of the game that are in Mandarin in the English version. And I think that should say a lot, because the gameplay is just surprisingly good. Like the shooting feels great, the FPS stuff. And I like tower defenses, and I don't think we make enough of them. So I was really happy to play this one, and it's really fun. So I will recommend that. And sorry, I've been talking forever, so I'll give you back the show. But, yeah.
Totally.
I'm doing a lot of stuff. I'm excited for Tuesday.
You're busy. You get to talk about more, and very excited for you getting to do these IGN first. That's awesome. Yeah. Especially, you just need to like record your own world premiere.
Yeah, we need that.
We need that on just the opening part of the IGN video. Everybody would chuckle. I think that would just like kind of break the ice pretty well.
Yeah, I think you underestimate how much people take every opportunity to pile on IGN. If we did world premiere, they would. We're not allowed to make jokes. Anytime I've proposed to make a joke, somebody who has been at IGN longer than me goes, Travis, we can't do that. Any other brand could make a joke, but if we make a joke, nobody. I mean, it'll just it'll be memed forever.
That's sad.
Crevice crawlers through the pipeline of the proof.
I did get crevice crawlers through, but that was like. Good. That was like an editorial joke. Like I propose like more out of the box stuff, and then people are just like, "Don't try it. Don't try to be funny here. We're not allowed that much rope, unfortunately."
That's a shame. Well,
yeah.
Anywho, so me, I have been a lot of Dragon's Dogma. I finished it last week.
Wait, you finished the whole?
Yeah, I got to play it
Yeah,
early.
'cause
I
he-
got to
remember he
review it.
reviewed it.
Oh, I was trying to get it early. I'm like, how
I
the
got
hell?
to review it. I gave it a 9. I really, really enjoyed the
Ooh.
journey outside of kind of like the facial animation kind of thing. So that part was, you could tell, not really a strong suit they didn't spend much time on, but the vocations, the combat, just the way the adventure is organic. Everything that happens, just like, what's gonna happen this way? You come around a corner, there's a 2-story ogre. Do you fight it or not? You gonna go fast travel on an ox cart? Well, halfway through in the middle of the night, you get woken up into attack, and the attack is big enough, the ox cart gets destroyed, and now you're in the halfway to your journey on foot. So it's like, there's just so much stuff, but then you get to some of the big fights, and I don't know. I really just enjoyed how there were some cool moments of how you would solve a quest. Like, hey, I think this might work. Totally did. Didn't think it would. Kind of great.
Nice.
And then as I explored later, I figured out there were more, definitely completely different ways to solve that issue. You could skip that whole thing if you want. There's a lot of stuff in there. Overall, it's just a really, really cool journey. It's a unique one. It does not hold your hand basically at all. Some people are not going to like that, but if people are tired of, hey, go here and clear out this quest marker, and then go here and clear out this little tower, and go here, it's like, no, you can go over here. You might want to go here faster, because if you don't go here fast enough, something else is going to happen. If you're not fast on this quest, you're going to have some consequences. So they got a couple of those in there. Pretty sure I screwed up one quest because I accidentally unsheathed my weapon in the middle of a masquerade party and just pissed off everybody. But it's a cool game. It's not for everyone, I will say that. But if some of it sounds intriguing to you, it is definitely worth the journey. So that one I really enjoyed. Jumped into Rise of the Ronin last night.
How we feeling? Saw the review.
I'm literally like 3 hours in.
Okay.
So far, challenging, which I kind of expect from Team Ninja on combat. Turned on performance mode just to see it first, running pretty smooth. Is it the most high fidelity thing in the world? Probably not, but I also didn't play Dragon's Dogma on my PlayStation, so I'm not entirely sure. This would be one, if you do play on PC, would probably run smoother because I turned on fidelity and I felt the 30. I'm like, nope, back to performance. I don't do that often on PC, so when I switch over to just console, it's kind of a different thing. About 3 hours into that so far, but the combat it's going to be tight. I turned it on the high difficulty because there are 3 difficulties. There's story, normal, and then just forget what they called the third one, but it's like, it's a Souls game. May as well do the top one just to get it. First boss alone was kicking my butt a little bit, so got through that one and then got to the open area, and gonna have to see how it goes, but so far kind of enjoying it, kind of cool. It's Team Ninja. The combat is always usually pretty tight on it.
Yeah.
So not really too worried about that. Just kind of curious to see how the story goes. Couple things I had to do in the opening of the game. Did not think I was going to have to do. So it's story-wise, couple loops thrown. So I'm early on that one though, so I don't really have a whole lot of thoughts yet. Only a few hours in. And then one I've been playing for months now, but I finally can talk about it. It's called Sworn. So it's SWORN, and that is a roguelike, stylistic, very Hades inspired. Hades is one of my favorite roguelikes ever.
Yeah, Hades is amazing.
Yeah, but that also has like the voice acting and the story and all of that stuff. So far as the early access state of this, I don't know where that stuff's all going to come in for the voice acting and the story. This feels more just combat focused, but the combat itself, especially as I'd kind of seen some of the earlier iterations, this one is so far combat pretty cool. Some stuff needs some balance. Like there was a little, because you'll have your main attack, a couple little variations. You'll have a heavy, and then you'll have a spell kind of like alternate attack that you can use on a limited basis. Some were balanced, some were just absolutely broken fun, like really powerful. The difference about it is it's co-op.
Yes, I'm looking at it right now.
So the fact that you and multiple people can play, you can actually set up like different builds to be more of an ally, so you can be a bit more of support. Like
Support.
I was laying down turrets and throwing lightning across the ground, and you can have a big heavy swinger up front. Just the co-op aspect alone, I think, will give it some distinction to it. It's based in kind of the world of Camelot and the Arthurian legend.
This is very Iron Lordy. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah. So I mean, you've got Merlin in there, kind of literally sitting in the opening hub.
Nice.
But yeah, for like the fact that it's co-op, I feel will give more people an option to try a roguelike. And then if they kind of get, this is one I feel like if you got a group of friends, you're not so much on a roguelike. If you try it and you guys can work through it together, then you might get more of a feel for a roguelike. And then like Hades will just be waiting out there for you. Because I don't know if it's going to hit that bar. I'm going to guess like, I mean, Hades is just so damn good at Supergiant. They don't miss.
Yeah.
But I mean, the music is pretty good. Like so far, the open playtest is up to the first boss. I beat him a few times now, and you'll get currencies and you level up different like skill trees for kind of permanent upgrades. I've seen a little beyond that, but again, like what I was playing that was beyond that wasn't quite in this refined state that the playtest is now. So I need to kind of go back and check what that's going to be like. That one will be something to keep your eyes on farther down the road, but I've been playing that off and on a little bit behind the scenes for a while. Played another thing that I can't really talk about too much. It's very early, so I wouldn't worry too much about that for now. And then dabbled a little bit in Destiny in between. So that's probably what we should talk about. Some of these people seem to come here for that. So I played a little bit of like I played some more of Guardian games towards the end. I was trying to see if I needed to grind out a title. Now, thanks to the news we got this week, I can get a better version of what I was hoping to get. So that Repulsor Brace Destabilizing Grounds title is going to be replaced by Recluse with the same perks on it.
Oh, they have the same. Oh, wow.
And it's a 900 RPM,
it's a
so it's going to be better.
Yeah.
So like the fact that I didn't get the title, I'm like, well, I will go grind this other thing. So this week we got the reveal of pretty much the arsenal. We got to see what the weapons were, kind of use them in action. I think Tom's Farnsworth was jumping around in Lost Sectors, kind of using all the different weapons. So the 12 weapons for the arsenal, we've got some that are raid, some that are OGs. You've got some comebacks like Recluse and Mountaintop, some Season of the Forge weapons, a meme weapon, a couple Pinnacles, and then Hung Jury for the 5th time, but we'll leave that alone. You've got a mix of them. Now, before we get into like talking about perks of what you're excited about and god rolls and things, we got to talk about the news that is ticking everybody off.
Hey, what's going on? What's happening?
You want to know what that is? I'm going to read the bottom paragraph of the article about the Brave Arsenal from the Developer Insight from yesterday.
Okay.
And that's all of them. Half of these weapons will be available starting April 9th. Half of them. The Recluse, Hung Jury, Succession, Edge Transit, Elsie's Rifle, and Falling Guillotine. The remainder will unlock one at a time each week through the week of May 21st. Final Shape comes out on June 4th. The Brave Arsenal weapons will continue to drop from Onslaught after the Final Shape, but the limited edition, people are calling these like shiny to have fun with it, variants won't be available after June 3rd. So on the 9th, you're going to get 6 weapons available that you can go after. And then on the following weeks from there, they're going to add one more to the loot pool. Whatever weapon is put in that loot pool last, if you want that shiny variant, you get 2 weeks. So it's mostly the fact that you have what seems to be tower defense, horde mode, kind of fun activity. People are like, cool, asked for it for a while. Could be, more of a 1.0 version if we wanted it. That's kind of what we said last week. Could be better. Could be worse, obviously, like in 2 months, pulling a lot together, but they could do a little more variation, maybe with some time. So you have 2 months for this one activity. It's going to probably stay around pretty permanent, it seems. But they're time gating half of the arsenal. That is one of the first things where they just walked in and said, here's all these cool weapons, and everybody's like, yay! The next day, look at all the perks on all these weapons. Bottom of the article. By the way, they're time gated. And that has taken away so much of like a lot of excitement. Now, are there cool weapons in here? Yeah, people are pissed. Like, I mean, there's from a lot of people just saying
they want it now.
The limited time thing, you got 2 months, and then now they're saying they're going to do it. It feels like this thing has been stretched for everything that it's worth. Now, is it for engagement? I'm sure it is. Are the 3 Twitch streams for engagement of some other kind? Yes, I'm sure it is. Is that what most of this feels like it's for? Yeah, but it just kind of feels like one of those unnecessary things where you have 2 months, grind for all the ones you want.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are going to be lucky to be able to grind for the shinies a whole bunch, but the average player, again, they try and do some of this for the casual. They're really trying to make sure, get every week. Make sure you get in here for that new one in case you didn't play for the last 3 or 4 weeks or whatever. So that tends to be the thoughts of what's going around. So if you hadn't seen that yet, what are your thoughts on cool perks? We'll get to time gating. Curious your thoughts.
Yeah, I saw the stream. First off, shout out to I want to say the new community. Don't say community manager, but whoever's the stream
Andy
host.
Salisbury? Yeah.
Big fan. I've never seen him before. I like the energy.
He was at GCX, actually.
Well, actually, I don't remember seeing him before.
No,
So
I was just saying
apologies
he
if
was roaming around. I bumped
okay.
into him there.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I've never seen him before, so
Yeah.
but I like his energy. I like he comes off as a person who's very knowledgeable of the game, plays the game, know the inside jokes of the game and stuff like that. So I thought his hosting was really fantastic. And obviously they had our man, they had the Farnsworth there, responsible for multiple Cabal drops on our head and
Indeed.
all that good stuff. And then I like the little,
Cabal's in your mouth.
Not Cabal's in your mouth. And then reference the they going into the throne room to demonstrate. So I want to give props to the stream itself. I'll be honest, I didn't think they'd have enough to do 3 weeks of this, to be brutally honest. So let's get to it. My expectation coming into this event, I'm gonna be real with y'all, was extremely low. It's not much, in my opinion, they can give us that's gonna really satiate us on a delay. So the fact that the content is what it is, I'm like, okay, cool. I was impressed with them bringing back quote unquote weapons that historically have been known to break Destiny. Recluse, Mountaintop, I'm like, okay, cool. Now we know they're going to be a caveat. We know they're not going to be as powerful as they once were. But for them to bring them back, I thought was cool. I get the pushback. Some people are like, bro, these are old weapons. But these are beloved weapons. These are, especially Luna's Halve, and Trav can relate to the competitive scene. This was what I always wanted, stuff that we aspired for in competitive PvP that were actually great weapons. So I know a lot of people, would like to see these back. Then I saw the whole, I guess, the shiny version of them, which is the nice paint and, all the stuff. Okay, cool. Random drop to get that. My initial feeling was this is very light. I'm happy that there is something there. We got the Shack's Corner and stuff like that. So I'm like, all right, I'll rock out for a little bit, do what I want, get the weapons I want, and I'll be okay. But I knew some people would push back. Now, what I didn't know was about that last portion that you mentioned, which is that, okay, you have this very distinct window to get, first you're time gaining the weapons, right? They're not everything is going to be like 1 week after you get this one is going to be added, that one's going to be added. And then after that, then you got this very limited window to get, the shiny versions of it. And that sucks. I'm not going to sit there and defend it. Like we know what this is. This is literally time gaining, desperation to keep engagement for the content. I'm personally, I'll be honest, I'm not going crazy yet because it's just like, don't we know who we dealing with? like this is, I'm not.
Yes, but is it necessary? That's the question.
That's what they've always done.
Does it make it right? Whether they do it all the time, does it make it right? That's all I wanted to know.
It doesn't make it right. All I'm trying to say is I live by this ethos. When someone tells you who they are, believe them.
Well, that's fine. I was like, do I expect anything less from Bungie at this point with, the worlds of weekly logins and all of that stuff? But I'm saying, is it something they should have done? No, that's all.
All I'm saying, the reason why I can't outrage, they have consistently time gated content, like every event, every seasonal event. There's never a time where they'd be like, yo, jump in, you could grind it all and get it. They've never shown me that ability to do it. So I'm not saying it's right. I'm just not surprised. I'm just like, okay, yeah, that's on brand for their BS. Now, but I get it. Now, the thing that I'm surprised though is that you seem, the way you are explaining it, it seems like a extreme community outcry against this, right? I'm assuming
I don't know of anybody who's like really like thinking, hey, this is fine. No, everybody would say don't time gate it. If there's an option to not
Right.
do it, don't do it. That's what I'm saying in the community.
And what I've seen in the past is when we've done this and we've outcried and we're like, yo, this is BS, they still kind of stand on it. They don't necessarily budge. So no, is it good to do? No, I wish I could get all the content and be done, but it's clear that they have set goals that they want to force engagement. To me, you know what, this last one I'll say, it reminds me of when Guardian Games, now we saw the new thing, which again, I'm not mad at, but I understand the desperation, which is, hey, get a platinum medal for 2 hours, and then we time gating that each week, right? Each week, 2 hours, favorite Destiny streamer. This is all engagement material.
Can we talk about Guardian Games on a small tangent?
Yes.
How it tied?
Oh, yeah.
Like, come on. There was a point at first they're like, oh, well, we'll work on adjusting the numbers. Then it was Hunters were high. And then Titans were drastically high. And then Warlocks were like, again, way higher than anybody else. I'm going, this is impossible. There are no statistics that this would ever play out. That magically week 1, everybody chose to be Hunter. Week 2, everybody chose to log in as Titan. Week 3, everybody's Warlock. Yeah, it tied and they had to go to like the silver medal tiebreaker by like,
yeah.
It's just one of those that I was kind of going, I mean, you knew it going in because it was like 7 days, like,
right.
It's kind of one of those that
I just feel they just can't balance it. It's just too difficult based on population, based on the way things can be manipulated. That I think part of me thinks they just throwing their hands up on certain things with that because you can't really properly balance it. But yeah, I looked at that with a very strange eye. I'm like, yeah, you got to tie now, and this is what we're doing. So yeah,
it fixes in.
The fix has been in for a minute, so we had to be clear with Guardian Games.
Anyway, I had to cover that because I saw they finally confirmed the tie victory, and I was like, okay,
that's pretty much all.
Although didn't Hunters win? They gave
Hunters did win.
Yeah. So look, am I excited for the content? Yeah, I'm gonna play it. I'll jump in. I'll knock out my couple of weeks. I'll do the horror mode. I think the weapons are absolutely fantastic, and this is what I expected for someone that's given us content that we weren't going to get anything off of a delay. I can't go crazy yet, but I understand the frustration of time gating. I just look at it as that's who they've always been. They've never showed me they are going to listen to community when it comes to that because revenue is down and they need engagement. I'm done.
I mean, that's probably the most honest piece of it. Travis, where you at on all this for this week? Or have you been so busy you're not really too concerned with the world of, people getting mad about when they get their weapons?
I've admittedly had little time to dedicate to it, and wouldn't be really mad at something like this anyway. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy that the weapons seem like they're actually going to be substantial. Like there's some really killer combinations. I'm not that excited that so many of them are returning weapons, or I guess all of them. I would prefer just something completely new to a remix, but that's just me. And I think the time gating is a bad idea, but also to Cog's point, exactly what they always do. That doesn't mean it's good. You can still hate it. The fact that they always do it does not make it any better. But yeah, I'm not particularly surprised, and I also don't think that they're going to change it. But yeah, I mean, this doesn't really matter to me. They do this all the time, stuff like this. And if you don't get the shiny version of the weapon this time, you'll get it the next time they release these same weapons to the community, because they're going to do it again. You know what I mean? So Zen, everyone. Let's have a little bit of Zen.
Look at all of my co-hosts being so reasonable and level-headed and just dealing with the hand that they are dealt. That's totally
he's here for the shocked reaction thumbnails, all right? And we're not giving it to him, Cog.
We're not giving him a shot. It's par for the course. And I feel you, bro. Like, trust me. Y'all know I feel. I wish Destiny was that game that just trusts the player to let us go in there, grind as much as we want, get everything we want, and be done.
So here's a question.
Yeah.
This is the last thing they're going to release before Final Shape, and the last thing they're going to release before your first episode. If they're going to time gate this, Does that give you any faith for them like dropping a real chunk of content with an episode?
I mean,
Well, they already told us what the time getting plan is for the episode.
I mean, I know you got like 6 weeks and 6 weeks and 6 weeks, but I mean,
Yeah.
you're literally getting a
And
weapon
that's not
a week.
time gated, according to them.
But again, it's like, is that actually going to hold true the way this has been laid out? I mean, they're time gating weapon releases, but then when we get to episodes, here's your full 6-week drop. Nothing here is limited. I just have my hunch that still won't fully be true, I guess. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm being skeptical. Got a couple super chats I want to say though real quick. Outsanity said, see, Titans and Warlocks, just because Bungie juiced you guys doesn't mean you're going to win. Hashtag Hunter's pure and honest. It was rigged, so it doesn't matter. Hashtag Hunter Love from 3 Geeks. The $5 super chat. Another one from Outsanity. I bet the shiny weapon skin and super black will be in the shop in the final shape.
Super black. Yes.
I think all I took away from that is that Hunter's the only one willing to pay for super chats. So I don't know. You take that for what he will.
And the podcast just went broke, everybody. It was we had a good run.
Good to go.
No, maybe I'm just trying to amp up the Titans to start spending money. You know, that's all it's about. Come on, Titans, get that wallet out. Let's go. Let's show these Hunters who's boss.
I'll be honest, E. Like I was happy to get a little see Recruits and Mountaintop come back.
Honestly, the weapon. We can talk about the weapons. And I am nearly happy with most of these. A couple of them would be PvP only, but most of them, I went through a video and I was like, "There's a lot of good perks in here." I have no problem with there's a lot of reissues. Do I need a forbearance? No, I have one crafted, done, enhanced. I'm good.
That was an interesting choice as a raid weapon.
I mean, it's really popular and also one of the better middle slot weapons to give people because it's an energy slot weapon and most people are going to use your 3.0 SMGs. So,
got a quick question before I forget.
Yes.
You know what I got out of it? I guess everyone's, upset about the time game fair. What I got out of it is we are leaning very hard into power creep.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're giving us some of the best weapons accessible ever. So I'm like,
we're going to be either nerfed to ever-loving hell in final shape, or we're going to be the most powerful going into these episodes for the perpetual future of whatever years we think this might be.
Am I being too positive thinking to think
that the reason you are
probably
being positive thinking, so yes.
Probably too much. But I guess my question is for us to give us all these borderline broken super meta weapons with outstanding combinations. I saw a killing tally rampage on a
I mean we're getting stuff that we don't.
So there's a part of me that's like, can I be hopeful that there's some mechanics that or something going on that's gonna offset this?
One can hope that Final Shape will challenge our loadouts that are going to be some of the strongest they've been. But again, you just said, what has Destiny been lately?
Oh, it's been time gating and it's been
time gating for the casuals. Who is this for?
Very easy.
Who is this game for?
For sure.
So as I said, you could hope that it is there. Could we hope this is the best raid that they have ever done? That it's as good as Last Wish? As a really high bar, difficult encounters, number of encounters. Can we hope for that? We absolutely can hope. And being as Nightfall kind of was made in a shorter duration than expected, that Final Shape has had longer development time than most other things likely have been. Absolutely. Would love to hope. Would love to see them surprise me. Would love to see Travis somehow give the Final Shape. If it's an 8, I'll be happy. If it's a 9, I will dance around. I will go streak down my cul-de-sac. But I mean, again, what have we seen in the past years right now? And again, this is kind of the point of what was what is Into the Light made of? Assets that are in the game. The entire Onslaught mode is assets in the game, reusing what's there. These are weapons that are already there, just working on different perk combinations. Might break the game a little bit, but we're going to have some fun. It's ramping us up and using what's in the game because most of the focus is still on Final Shape.
Correct.
Do I feel that there's a little iota of hope for that? Maybe. But I don't want to hope too much.
No, fair. That's fair. That's fair. No, I was just curious because I don't know how they handle this. I'm curious. I'll ask Travis this too because I just don't know how they handle. What's the thought process for giving us the most powerful weapons in the game. And let's be honest, Prescott made a good point. You know, I look at Forbearance specifically, right, as a raid weapon that was extremely hard to get. That when you know if you get that chain reaction, what is it, ambitious assassin combo,
yep.
you know, you are doing serious damage in the energy slot. Now that's available to more than just that small subset that raids. That's now the entire Destiny community is going to have this weapon. These loadouts are going to be super meta. And I'm just curious, like, how do you think they handle that? Because we're just creeping, man. We're power creeping all over the place.
Free to play activity. Your baseline for DPS options now for everybody should have ratcheted up quite a bit. So then where do you build your activity off of? Now, the only worry, when you think about Season of the Drifter, what was that activity called with the bridge and everything?
Oh, the one we had to go one activity from Gambit Prime to the other one.
The non-Gambit Prime starts with an R. Can't remember the name. Reckoning. So Reckoning was made to a point where we had crept so far that they had to throw everything at us. And you remember, if you try to go in there with randoms, you're never getting across that bridge.
Yeah, bro, you had to put like a well and a bubble each
well in a bubble every time, trading like and exotics that where you can get your entire super back. We were at that point. Now, I don't know if we're quite there because they keep toning some stuff back here and there and stuff like that. But I mean, at least for the DPS side of things, this is where it's like what do health bars look like? What are the damage checks and raids? That kind of stuff will be kind of a thing. I'm still hoping we get one type of rating counter that has like, you have to do DPS by doing a whole bunch of other stuff besides the main target, because I'm really tired of shooting the one guy for DPS, but we'll see. Travis, thoughts on any of this before we go through some of these combos?
Yeah, I'm curious.
I mean, we've been saying for years that nerfs are the new sunsetting, right? They said we're not going to sunset weapons, and then they started nerfing things like way more aggressively. And if you have sunsetting, you actually don't really need nerfs because you know that your problem is going to go away eventually. So it allows you to be a little bit more creative. But this is coming from somebody who was a big fan of the idea of sunsetting. And unfortunately, it was implemented poorly. So we never got to see that play out. But I'm not that worried about it. I mean, I don't think we're, to your guys' point, anywhere near where we were with Reckoning. And I think they've been so on their nerf game. I mean, there's not really any things in the game right now that I feel are like a serious problem. I mean, they even got rid of what was the laser everybody was using for boss DPS. Divinity. Even Divinity.
Divinity caught that.
Even Divinity. I mean, they've shown that they're not afraid to just like completely change the meta with nerfs, which is the equivalent of sunsetting, really, when you think about it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of these are, you know, you get a weapon with great perks on it, that's fine. You can have a weapon with great perks on it, and it doesn't matter that much if, you know, you're playing against an enemy that gets like, you know, that extra 20% DPS because they're a couple levels above you or whatever. So I don't think we're at the point yet where it's really a problem, but happy to be proven wrong. And then if I am proven wrong, I'm sure they'll deliver nerfs. So I don't think it's that big of a deal, but we'll see. I might hop onto this and try to get some weapons because I'm probably a little behind just because I don't play as much as I used to. And I do want to be in tip-top shape because I'm reviewing the final shape.
Yeah,
so
baby, let's go.
Yeah,
I need you at your top loadout for that review.
Well, let's see. So Forbearance, is there anything outside of your ambitious? Some people do Unrelenting with chain reaction as well. Is there anything else you guys would want on that? I know you got Bait and Switch, but on a special, that one's not really speaking to me.
I ain't gonna lie, Midnight cool.
No, I'm kind of going down. Do you have the article up?
Yeah.
Going down the list.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go for it.
Trying to have some semblance of order here.
Yeah, my bad. No, go do professional podcasting. Do your thing, bro. Do your thing.
Forbearance does seem like there's just like the main role. I mean, you could probably dabble with like That's for All, One for All. Again, I wish that combination did more for me, but not once as I have ever put that in. Somebody said demo makes that nuts. So that could be kind of good. You've got those. Succession. I think your big one there is likely going to be for at least the PvE. Most of what I'm going to be talking about is PvE related. If there are PvP perks, make sure you guys call them out. Succession for a kinetic sniper for PvE stuff. Reconstruction for ammo. And you literally have 4 different damage options. Firing line for a group. Focus Fury if you're maybe by yourself. Vorpal's 15% on anything big. And then recombination, if you're getting kills with other stuff, you can line up some bullets there. If you're going PvP, moving targets, snapshot sights, you know, the firmly planted for those crazy snipers in PvP, not really my thing I'm good at, I'll tell you.
Yeah. I never get a good succession. I can never get a succession with reconstruction on it. So this helps me.
Yeah.
I've got a pretty good succession.
Yeah, you ran that damn race. So
yeah, I was like, there's nothing you
Yeah, I
don't
did.
have in there.
You got every combination minus the exotic weapon.
Yeah, I've got a succession with reconstruction, and I can't remember what my other stuff is, but yeah, I've got a pretty damn good one.
I wonder how Focus Fury don't sleep on a sniper though, right?
No, I mean for a solo player like firing line, if you're just like gonna line everybody in a up in a group for like DPS, that's 20%. That's easy. Focus Fury for a solo player, I've used that for backup DPS before because if the magazine's typically 4, but reconstruction get it up to 8, sometimes those perks like Focus Fury can proc in the normal perk size, so it's 2 shots, and then you get the 6 to start procking, and then hopefully it's just still going. By the time you reload, it's still there. So as a solo player, like a reconstruction Focus Fury has potential. Vorpal's always like any bosses you're going to be hitting 15%, but as a group, firing line's probably your go-to. So there's a couple ones for your kinetic kind of backup DPS slot that are definitely worth considering. Falling Guillotine, you got some options. Now, there's a lot of Void stuff in here. It very much feels like a Void artifact is coming.
Yes.
I mean, there's Void, and kinetic, and like 1 or 2 solars, I think. But it is mostly Void. And I feel like we haven't had Void in a while, so I do feel like we're due.
Okay.
You feel like they've been avoiding it?
Yes.
Hey. Nice.
Hey.
So third column, Falling Guillotine, you got Vorpal, only 10% though. Relentless, good for ammo. The repulsor destabilizing on a sword. It's cute, but I'm like, I don't think that's really what you want. You got attrition orbs, frenzy, probably relentless, your ammo efficiency one. Whirlwind blade. If you don't have a relentless whirlwind blade sword, you should have one, period. So make sure you get one. I can also see relentless and bait and switch. Now I forget what sword logic does. I would actually have to look that one up.
Something about a melee ahead or something, and then gets more damage or something. I forget. Those are the that's a perk from the actual raid, right?
We skip all these mid weapons and just talk about edge transit.
We'll get there.
The real star of the show.
Talk about edge transit, guys.
Hold on, I'm trying to see something that has sword logic on it, just so I could. Final blows with this weapon grant bonus damage. The strength and duration of the bonus increases when more powerful targets are defeated.
All right, maybe this will be good then.
So it's final blows getting the kills. So again, when I'm using a sword, it's not often that I'm going to use a sword
on multiple.
Yeah, on just like wailing on a bunch of guys. Generally, it's mostly for those moments where you can actually just wail on the prophecy like first boss kind of thing.
I love hearing you talk about wailing on a bunch of guys.
Anyway,
personally,
so probably Relentless Strikes and Whirlwind Blade would be at least a good one to go for. Moving on. Now, Recluse. Since I didn't get the title, we have Recluse coming back. Feeding Frenzy Master at Arms. Probably going to want one of those. But I also want to get my Repulsor Brace destabilizing rounds on a Void weapon for all these little Void actions. And could probably be more fun. Those are the 2 PvE ones I was looking at. Is anything else on this list look good for you for Recluse? Anybody? Chat, you guys are probably in here too.
I mean, massive.
Who uses Recluse for PvE?
Well, we used to.
Oh yeah, we used to. Oh yeah.
I don't really have a great Void option in like the submachine gun category because I've got my Callus mini tool, I've got my Ikelos, but I need a Void one to fit. And if you can get Repulsor Brace destabilizing rounds on a Titan, get an overshield, have the shields last longer, it feels like you could lean into a good Void build for clearing ads and staying alive.
And it would be better than the title in the sense that the 900s have more ammo, I believe.
I think more ammo and just typically more DPS. I think more just DPS, in general for the speed.
Master of All, I was trying to remember because they nerfed it. What was it again? What was that perk do? It just like it
was like a 50% damage bonus. Like when you got kills, it was crazy. It's not that strong. They said it's not the same. So it'll be a little bit less.
I guess I'm curious to see when guys break down the target lock. You know, on a topic as well. But then that's a central target, right?
Like
that's
target lock on a Yeah, target lock on like a heavy machine gun works because you can sit there and
Yeah.
just go through 60 bullets and it builds up, and you're usually probably hitting a lot of precision shots.
Mhm.
For
I
like an
guess
SMG, it
surrounded,
just doesn't feel maybe surrounded. Yeah,
surrounded 30% just to have enemies around you for free.
yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be a little lower on my list, but an option.
Mm-hmm.
Mountaintop.
Here
Anybody
we go,
surprised that this one got brought back? At least one of us.
bro. This
I
was
like that
awesome.
its name has lost all value because it was supposed to be about like
Part of the
climbing the PvP mountaintop
facts,
to get it, and now you just get it by
Show up.
they should call it base.
The base, no top.
Base. What's the bottom of the mountain called? I know
Yeah,
it's the
what is it?
base. That just doesn't sound like a good name for a
Base
gun.
camp or
Mm,
I don't know.
yeah, man.
How
This
about
was-
couch?
the couch?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. And
So, well, you got auto loading holster. Like this thing would still be decent for if you need to shoot that one enemy that you want to shoot a straight shot at, but hit it with something powerful. I mean, if you could get mountaintop lined up right, it's still pretty good. You've got auto loading holster, vorpal weapon, so that's 15%. You've got frenzy with auto loading holster, so if you fire one and you've been in combat for a little bit, you could have some pretty fast reloads. I'm wondering about that. Demolitionist and adrenaline junkie on that one. I'm sure somebody's gonna have a little bit of fun there. Ambitious assassins on there if you get the double shot.
Yeah.
There's a couple on mountaintop I kind of want to try. I know people are going to be checking. Yeah, auto or ambitious and recombination. I forget what recombination does. That's kind of one of those that's like,
Yeah, I forgot. Like you get damage on lesser enemies, and then you get something on heavy. I forget. I got so many damn perks.
recombination. Elemental final blows increase the damage of this weapon's next shot.
Energy kills.
Energy kills
it.
increase damage. So if you get
Which
energy
is-
kills, you can stack up, and then
That's actually good because you'll be using your other energy weapon as your primary, right? And then you usually
switch
you can
over.
ramp up. Yeah, that's actually really good for it.
Yeah, so
switch
each
over
stack additively increases the damage of next shot by 10%.
And it stacks to about probably like 5 stack.
10 stacks.
Oh wow, recombination might be the play.
I mean, that's going to be
Yeah,
a powerful
If you're gonna
shot.
run
That's
around
for
with
sure.
your enemy energy weapon. If you have mountaintop, you're not gonna be shooting all day singly as a primary. So
Yeah, so auto loading
Yeah.
recombination, switch over, have that one big powerful near double tap, basically.
yeah,
that could be
might
good.
Be the go. Mhm.
Then we get to the Season of the Forge. Hammerhead coming back. Now,
Yes.
you can go two ways on Hammerhead. You can go
Mhm.
damage, all damage, or you can go ammo and damage. You got stuff like 4 times rewind rounds for ammo efficiency. Pair that with something like target lock, maybe onslaught for those faster kills. But I think people are really probably going to go rampage and killing tally
Yeah.
if they just want to mow
Onslaught.
things down and have some fun and just watch the numbers go up.
I love onslaught though. I really love onslaught on a machine gun. That ramp up in DPS, just kill
Yeah.
like a little lesser enemy and then target on the boss.
Like if you wanted it to be like your true boss DPS, like your 4 times or your rewind rounds and target lock would be your long-term DPS.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Kill
4
tally is good,
4
too,
times and
yeah.
killing tally could
All
be a
depends
fun
if you're trying to-
mix
If you're trying to use it on a boss or on
ads.
ads.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I mean, with machine guns as they are lately, because I think the reserves have gone up a little bit over time with damage and everything else. You can use that to clear ads and then use, a couple specials and things like that.
4 times the charm is basically triple tap plus 1, so you're getting free ammo back just for the shots. There's a lot of good combinations there.
Blast Furnace. This is the one that I will say I'm very happy it's coming back, but right now, pulse rifles and PvE, not really where it's at.
Really?
I mean, they're really not.
Open.
Now, granted, this is going to be kinetic. So, what kinetic primary are you just reaching in your vault for all the time as you go into these PvE encounters? Kinetic primary.
Right. They're not sexy anymore.
No.
But I remember they did get the 10% boost just for being kinetic now. I will say, I'm like you. I'm with you. Kinetics are boring to use these days. It's absolutely boring when the energy primary is the way to go. But I think kinetic tremors for me, I like my primary to do something. Like give me a splash, give me a dragonfly like type. And I ain't gonna front, kinetic tremors might be the go for me. I gotta see the I think somebody had it on we'll get to Midnight Cool, but Firefly, hell no, I see it. Yeah, I might
Kinetic
go
Trimmers,
kinetic.
Firefly, maybe.
Yeah, I might go.
I gotta see how it feels. I have lower expectations for the kinetic primaries. I just tend to.
Yeah, this is the old
Now
school
for
E. This is Gad
PvP,
rifle.
Now for PvP, as soon as I get this thing, I'll go walk into PvP if I can get like a Zen moment, rapid hit, something like that, or head seeker rapid hit. I'll go take this thing into PvP and have a little bit of fun.
What's desperate measures? I forgot. What
So in the stream, and I gotta pull it up. They showed the perk at some point on. Does anybody know? Because it had a different name. Because they said the name was gonna change. Because it
takes
was
post
on.
rifles to be on an artifact for us to use them. He kind of right though. He ain't right about that.
Session. No, anybody know what I'm talking about? Where
they changed the name of it, and it's
yeah, they changed the name of.
Last Stands. The chat is saying.
I'm trying to remember what weapon it was on.
They're saying Last Stand.
Is that a reference to Moriarty?
Colin reference.
So Last Stand, Last Hope in the stream. Yeah, so it had a different name, and I think basically it was kind of like Golden Tricorn.
Yeah,
but stackable. So it was on Blast Furnace.
Nice.
So it was kind of it was a weird Golden Tricorn, but not really kind of thing. So that'll be one that's on quite a few of these weapons. Actually, we'll have to see how that kind of plays out.
Killing a target gives a damage buff. Getting a melee or grenade kill increases the damage buff. Kills with this weapon also increase the timer.
I think they stack, and I think they like stack in a weird way. It's probably not as big as Golden Tricorn because Golden goes like 10%, 50% or something. So again, depending on, but it is all about getting kills. So if you can get it on like an ad clearing weapon, stuff like that of some kind, it's not going to be like a DPS thing.
I'm excited, man.
Got some potential.
Tremors, bruh.
All right, Travis, you're up next. You get to talk about this one. You've been waiting. You've been holding tight.
All right, let's talk about Edge Transit. One of the most mid weapons ever made. Basically, never more than a meme. It'll continue to be that, and I'm gonna have it in all 3 slots.
The Edge.
No more.
So the little
Enough
joke
said.
they made. They put it in the vault.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, movie of the week, baby. You guys remember that video?
Movie of the week. Edge Transits. Hell yeah. Nothing but them. Yeah,
That's right.
They're going for it hard on this one, huh?
I'm thinking Cascade Point and bait and switch. So you get your work done with your other weapons, and then when you finally get over to that one, you just pretty much unload the entire clip.
I've never used Cascade Point yet.
It's fast. If you switch, I mean, you talked about it on Taraxipos, I feel like, or you mentioned I've seen people do some work with it there. But yeah, if you can do some work with the other 2 weapons, the way bait and switch sets up anyway, do some like consistent damage with maybe like a sniper, then tag it with that middle weapon to activate bait and switch. As soon as you get over that first grenade,
bang, 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 bang.
And just unload, and then bait and switch is on right after that first one.
Bait and switch is extremely powerful on grenade launches at DPS. With that
that was the Cataphract.
The Trials one. Yeah, the Trials one that's out now.
Like everybody's Cataphract now.
It is insane.
I didn't
have
any trials for it.
Oh yeah,
that would be hilarious if Edge Transit was part of the meta.
No, I honestly think like people are saying that Edge Transit definitely might be, because
I mean they say that, but
switch
next season, I mean, who knows? Jury's out.
Yeah.
I have no doubt it'll be. Yeah, I have no doubt it'll be part of the meta during.
Oh yeah, some people are saying you could do. If you get a limited edition one with double perks, you get one with Cascade Point and Envious Assassin. Maybe like get the ammo stacked up with Envious Assassin, then switch once the ammo's in there for Cascade Point, and then just dump like a clip and a half instead.
That's insane.
If you're really getting crazy about the optimization. But no, I mean, some people, I'm not going to use like chain reaction destabilizing rounds. I mean, yeah, that's going to blow up the entire room if I want to have a little fun, but I'm not using a grenade launcher for ad clear. It's just, I'm not going to do that. Luna's Howl.
Well, it's definitely going to be strong during Into the Beyond Lightfall.
Into the Beyond Lightfall.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whatever it's called.
That. Luna's Howl. So you got your PvP and PvEers. So heal clip, kill clip on a solar hand cannon. You also got heal clip and incandescent. A couple decent options if you want that hand cannon energy slot, some ad clear solar build kind of thing. PvP, you got Magnificent Howl, Eye of the Storm, you've got Slide Shot, Opening Shot. Quite a few things here. I think people are going to be, it's also going to a 140, but they said it's going to have the precision frame. So I forget how precision final blows. I know the precision frame. I don't know if it's the recoil that helps with that one, but it is a 140, not a 180. So
I've never had this weapon. Never
I
was
think,
good enough.
I think I got Lunas. I did grind for Lunas. I didn't get Not Forgotten. I didn't go all the way to Legend at that point, but I'm pretty sure I got Lunas.
I
'Cause
got
that was like,
Oh, you did. Nice.
I
Hell
think,
yeah, dude.
yeah, Heel Clip Igneous. You
I
can
mean,
get on.
those weapons are like mandatory for like a year and a half in Destiny PvP.
Yeah. Those are the weapons.
So we got Midnight Coup. This will be a kinetic can. Again, kind of a hard sell for me in the world of PvE. You do have like Outlaw kinetic trimmers, Firefly kinetic trimmers again.
I think there's a breaking, not a bug. I think it's either. I think
I
shout out
mean,
to what's his face?
Lunas Hal probably shouldn't be good in PvE. I would be
Probably
appalled
not.
if Lunas Hal became a PvE gun.
I mean, Heel Clip and Incandescent, people are having some fun with Heel Clip and PvE, so we'll see how that plays out. But
Yeah, my man above said that there's something broken, not broken, but there's a combination with Tremors and one of these with Midnight Coup that it will count double or something, and people are
well, I
really
mean,
going.
in Explosive Payload,
Yes,
that would be the
payload,
one.
yes.
So Explosive Payload, it's going to hit for 2 procs, and depending on how many shots you need to trigger kinetic trimmers, obviously it's going to be cut in half. So yeah, if you see an Explosive Payload kinetic trimmers, probably your fastest kinetic trimmer activation you can get. Just have to see how many shots it takes for that to actually come through, though.
No doubt.
Firefly again with kinetic trimmers. If you want to go for the explosions, kind of up to you. And again, if Firefly explodes, all of those enemies are going to be procced with kinetic trimmers, but kinetic trimmers take shots to trigger. That's why I was like, kind of want to use it, but then it doesn't feel like it's going to have the time to trigger. I will tell you my least excited weapon on this list. Hung Jury.
This one.
For the 5th time, too, I feel like we have definitely... Somebody showed Oxygen SR3. I'm like, it's right there. Remember it's Firefly, but the upgraded perk? It could just be something kind of different. But no. Hung Jury, again, because I don't know why, but... I mean, I saw like rewind rounds and kinetic trimmers and rapid hit and explosive payload, and I'm like, I don't care about any of these. I really don't. Why do you want it?
I don't want it, but I know why it's on the list.
Why it's on the list? Why?
Because it's one of the most requested weapons from the community. Every single time they ask.
Yeah, it's up there. It's up there.
I don't know why.
It came back as a Nightfall drop, right?
Yeah, we've had
it's because
multiple times.
I think it's just a lot of D1 players have like uber nostalgia for it, even though it was great in D1, but it hasn't been good since. So I honestly think that's it.
No, it's probably it. The community, the D1 community, is like a revered weapon.
Yeah, I mean in D1 it was very unique of what it could do. Now scout rifles are just not where it's at, and on top of that, we've had it too many times. Final one is Elsie's rifle.
Tell that to Jade Rabbit E.
I don't like that weapon.
It's great in PvP right now,
but it is good though.
The only time I ever got good use out of is when it was a little OP in momentum control. It just one tapped.
Oh yeah,
it was busted, like really busted in there. Elsie's rifles. This is actually going to be a void weapon. Again, we have like one solar. Hold on, I'm trying to see. Luna's Howl is solar.
Isn't this kind of like new in a way? I don't remember having this.
I mean, I feel like it's got a frame, but we're getting a void pulse rifle. You got your repulsor destabilizing. You got feeding frenzy.
1.
Yeah,
D1. Feeding frenzy, adrenaline junkie. Desperado's not what it used to be. For PvP, you got head seeker, keep away, zen moment. So I could see this one going either way, but at least if you're going to use a void pulse rifle in PvE, at least this one has some decent combinations of perks on it. I don't know if there's many pulse rifles I'm going to be bringing in, but this is a maybe if the perks at least can get some, Void 3.0 work to happen. 5 Void, 5 Kinetic, 1 Arc, 1 Solar. What's the Arc weapon?
Yeah, which one's that?
Oh, Forbearance. Forbearance, yeah.
Forbearance, yes. So these were the, 12 they came out that decided on?
Yep, that's the 12. So, I mean, they said they have way too many weapons to pick from. They tried to, I will say, they had to limit themselves on hand cannons. They feel like they could have brought back 12 hand cannons. I'm like, thank God you didn't do that. Yeah. Not everybody loves the hand cannons, so they limited that to 2. Couple in each slot.
Love.
Yeah, I saw True Vanguard was like, no sidearms. Very sad. Oh, my pulse rifle that I still have a copy of? You mean that one? Somebody's like, I remember that pulse rifle that Ebontis really liked to use. Yeah, everybody gave me a hard time. Everybody called it a dad rifle. I got a lot of shit for it, and it's still sitting in my vault. And I'm not going to get rid of it. It is go figure.
Go figure. Wow.
The same frame as Blast Furnace.
Mhm.
That's what I was like, if I'm going to take one into PvP, yeah. Oh, there's like some the roles that I would probably take in for that, but
Mhm.
yeah. So that is
Did they
the
not hint-
Brave Arsenal.
Did they not hint an exotic quest at the end of the stream?
TWID. They did, and then they talked about it here. So in the TWID, the outside of the armor, before we go talk about the exotic quest, what are your thoughts on this armor? I don't know if you've seen it yet, so I'll just put it in the Discord chat.
Pretty lame.
Yeah.
Look like the
Hunters look
Guardians
good.
are about to open a circus together.
Yo, you fun. Hunters look good. I think the hunters.
Oh, everybody's like, of course. Oh, as a hunter, somebody says it's junk. Some people were liking the hunters. I don't mind the Titan look. I kind of got to see it in game though, because I feel like these concepts don't always carry over into the game.
Right.
It could get better, could get worse. I feel like the Warlocks is probably the most mild.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
You got,
no,
like,
It all
no,
looks
no,
very-
no.
You got like,
Looks very busy to me.
yeah, it's like
That's my
yellow, but
feedback.
you have like goth spikes on your chest. I'm not entirely sure what
Mhm.
they're going for there. So it's weird combo. No, what you were talking about is
Uh-huh.
here's the summary of the topics we're going to touch on next week in April 2nd. The return of 2 classic exotic missions. Now we have 4 that are not in the game. You have Whisper, you have 0 Hour, you have the one for Hawkmoon, and you have the one for Bad Juju.
Ooh.
Now they said one of the weapons would be craftable.
Ooh.
Hawkmoon is still sitting at Zur. I can't imagine it's time to get Hawkmoon out of Zur.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to temper my expectations. I'd love to see Whisper and 0 Hour both come back. Those are way better. No question, those are the better missions. Will we see them both? My hunch is no, because they probably will save one of those for another rainy day. So I got to temper expectations. So which ones of those 4 do you guys want to see? And which ones do you think we'll get?
I'm going. Whisper's so iconic, man. I think they could do it if they give snipers a buff at the end of the day. Get ready, get everybody all hyped up. But that's just me wishing. I don't know. I would like Whisper's probably the more iconic. I wouldn't mind 0 Hour. That was a fun one. I don't even remember what the Juju one was. That was us in the trophy hall.
That Juju was fun. That was
Mhm.
the one where we were going through like a ship, I think it was. That was the one where it was the season where you got access to the shooting range where you could practice DPS and load up on your
that's right.
armor.
Yep.
I think it
We
was
got
like-
some
it was
live
like,
tweets coming from the Destiny 2
Uh-oh.
team while we are recording. So I'm going to read these out.
Breaking
I
news.
guess they're not doing time gating.
Breaking
It's definitely
news.
changing, I'm pretty sure.
What's
We've
going
got
on? What's going
updates on the rollout for the Brave Arsenal starting April 9th. Some important callouts to highlight just how much loot you'll be swimming in during Destiny 2 Into the Light. First up, we've seen the feedback on releasing an additional weapon each week after the first 6 weeks on April 9th. And we're condensing the schedule to release everything by April 30th. So now you have all of May to grind all of them out. So it's probably going to be 2 a
Yay!
week. So you get all 6 first, and it'll probably be like 2, 2, and 2.
You won.
We still think it's important to have fresh rewards to look forward to in the first few weeks, and we want to pack the first half of Destiny 2 into the light before we introduce more playable content in the second half. Let's talk about guaranteed limited edition variants and weapon drop rates. By completing Arsight's quest, which is like the Shax's bot buddy, that's a phrase, you are guaranteed to get a curated limited edition variant of each weapon. The team has
Guaranteed.
picked up some hot perk combos for these, and they all come with unique shiny visuals. So even if you don't have a lot of free time, you'll be able to walk out of Destiny 2 in the light with a limited edition variant of all 12 Brave weapons, with excellent rolls over a month to complete these straightforward quests. See, here's the thing. This is called messaging. Sometimes companies don't do this so well. If they would have told you all of this, and they would have said you could do a quest and everyone's going to get a shiny, people would be a little more okay with it. But they didn't tell us all this stuff.
Messaging.
Earning your own
tweet in our
limited
chat.
edition, God roll is meant to be very exclusive reward that should see some effort, which is why we wanted to make sure everyone get at least one awesome limited edition variant of each weapon through the quests. The weapon drop rates during Into the Light will be among our highest in Destiny 2's history, even harkening back to the days of Season of Opulence. By attuning to a specific weapon, which is one thing I will say I wish they would have done for Guardian games, because I would have attuned to the title. So I do appreciate that you can choose to have one drop higher than others. By attuning to a specific weapon, you'll greatly increase the chances of it dropping from onslaught chests, and you'll be opening a lot of chests. Depending on how long you last, expect to earn several drops of the same weapon in a single session, especially on the 50 wave runs. I think the 50 wave normal, you're going to get like 6 chests, because you get 1 for each 10, and then 2 on the final. And then I think the bonus, the hard difficulty is 2, 2, 2, and 2, and then probably double at the end. There should be 3 though. It's 50%.
Did you miss a? You missed a super chat, you?
Might have. Is it a while ago, or am I just not seeing it?
It was a while ago, yeah.
Oh, Gaming Forte, you're right, Travis. Us hunters ain't broke. That one.
I have a little bit of feedback for Gaming Forte on that one.
Uh-oh.
If you're trying to prove to somebody that you're not broke, don't give them $1.99. Maybe, you know, that's like, hey, I'm doing all right for myself. Watch, and then you take out like $3 out of your wallet, and you're like, see, you're like, that's 3 ones. That's not
the slander. That's not the
yeah.
slander.
Don't super chat the amount that it costs to get guacamole at Chipotle. You know what I mean?
Dirty. Said my boy only work for add-on. Oh man,
We
Damn,
love Forte,
and then-
but Travis just burned you pretty hard.
And then he put the bag of money emoji. How much is that? All pennies, I assume. It's $1.99, right? In that bag.
That's Travis is practicing his roasting skills right now. That's all he's doing. He's just sharpening his tools.
I don't know.
That's hilarious.
Sorry. I just saw that now.
So you can also use weapon chests near shacks, the Hall of Champions, to get more weapons using trophies of bravery.
Put the link in the chat, because I cannot find.
Oh, for the tweet.
Yeah.
Hopefully that works. Twitter links are sometimes weird, but
That worked. I think you mean X links. You sent a link to x.com.
I hate that website name.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's
isn't
so
it?
awful. Anyway.
It's so bad.
The trophies you can spend in Hall of Champions, they will drop game-wide across core rituals, seasonal activities, raids, dungeon dares, and more. So you're always earning progress towards more weapons as you're playing. These even drop from onslaught chests, so you'll be able to grab a few more rolls after every onslaught session. All 12 base brave weapons can still be farmed after Destiny 2 and the Light concludes. We'll be moving onslaught over to a dedicated node on Vanguard Ops when the launch of Final Shape happens. At which point you'll also be able to enhance perks on all those weapons.
I like that.
That's coming in Final Shape, just being able to enhance
This is
perks.
a lot of text. This is like 12 tweets.
Bro,
This is
yeah,
crazy.
coming tweets. Someone's responding to the feedback.
Yeah, well, it also.
I mean, imagine if you're not on Bungie's social though. You're just
well,
playing
like
a whole
this
different.
needs to be on the website. It straight up just be on the website.
Out off the presses, man.
Yeah. So anyway, yes, they listen to feedback, but you could have saved yourself the need to do the feedback change, and you probably wouldn't have had to give all of these details in here. For one, that could have been actually in the article itself, which you covered already. But yeah, you could have saved yourself if you didn't time get him in the first place. But hey, I'm glad they listened. I'll take it. It's fine.
Thank you. Be nice. Exactly. They did. They listen.
Again,
that was all in the
you didn't have to step on the rake, but I'm glad you learned your lesson after you have the bruise on your forehead. That's all I'm saying.
Fair enough. Fair.
That seems a reasonable one. Okay. The 2 exotic missions. Back to where we were. After the detour of the live tweeting. What mission do you want the most if you could pick one?
The trap answer. I went already.
I guess Whisper.
Round in the deep.
I just want that song back in the game. That background music is
Yeah,
so iconic.
the song, the areas, and the
It's like nothing.
I felt
else,
like it was the hardest also. Like
Yeah.
that was the one that I had the biggest challenge actually completing.
You shall
drift. Yeah, let's get it.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of that because you get that ship, and I always floss that ship out, bro. That Whisper ship for doing all that.
Trevor was cool though.
That's the thing I was going to say is like Trevor. Like trolling people with Trevor, especially if they hadn't experienced it before, would be like, hey, jump down there and be like, still one of the best. Like both of those are what I would love to see. By far easily better than Bad Juju's like Shadow World mission Hawk Moon was not a great mission.
It wasn't.
It wasn't
But
great.
Bad
And then
Juju
the
at least
end,
is a good gun.
Yes.
That's the thing I like. I think I like Bad Juju better than the other two guns.
so they said one of them will be craftable.
Ooh.
Do you think they're going to make something like Bad Juju, a pulse rifle, craftable? But like a
No.
craftable exotic, maybe just different barrels
Whisper.
and
Whisper, baby.
probably.
It's
how the
time.
hell would you make Whisper craftable?
Gotta throw some perks on it. Do that like
Yeah.
a Revision 0 kind of flow with the optional
I mean,
perks.
how do you make any of these craftable? I think
Outbreak? I feel like that would be weird.
yeah, Outbreak. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's Whisper because its exotic perk still works.
I mean, yeah, the
With
exotic
other
perk and then
perks,
switching up whether it's maybe barrels or scopes or
Mhm.
magazine or can't really screw with the magazine though, so I'm kind of curious what they would do.
Season of the Whisper. It's time.
We will
Oh,
see.
geez.
I am curious. I'm very intrigued to see what it is. We get a preview of all 3 of the new PvP maps coming in. And I think
Ooh.
Scaro's probably been right on the money that a couple of these maps are probably the other ones that they haven't shown for the activity.
Right.
So like a couple of these were probably built for PvP, but also like, hey, can you make that area a little bigger for this activity? We're
Who
gonna
was-
throw it in.
Who was the character talking to us in that? Was it Riven of 1,000 Voices
In what?
in the Whisper mission?
Zol.
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 Worm.
I love that it was that guy, the guy we killed in like
Killed in a
a strike.
campaign.
Killed in a
mission.
strike.
Hilarious.
That was
That's
funny.
very funny.
We'll get to see 3 of the maps. They'll probably be like, and Onslaught takes place on 2 of these, because why wouldn't they?
Mhm.
We have a new PvP challenge we call Pantheon. Now, it doesn't say it's a mode, but it's just a... Now, what would a Pantheon be? Is this going to be go through and do like a Nightfall, a raid, a dungeon? Or do you guys think it's going to be like a set of things you got to do the Pantheon?
Ooh. Ooh. Pantheon. Interesting name.
I mean,
PvE
by definition, it's a
challenge.
group of particularly respected, famous, or important people.
Mhm.
That's a little weird. Maybe you have to do something for everybody in the tower to prove yourself to be able to go through. I don't know, but like,
Yeah, I don't know.
it's a weird challenge. For when I read it first, I thought it was like a mode, but it's like,
It's a PvE
I feel like,
challenge, all right?
yeah, I feel like this is
PvE.
going to be a quest. I feel like it's not going to be like an activity. And
Probably,
more.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're getting these streams going. They also left the stream going for half an hour extra. You just sit there and work on your emblem progress. 'Cause
Mhm.
that whole mess of stuff happened.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm curious about the exotic missions. Obviously, I know what I'm going to be doing whenever they come out. I'll be working on some guides.
Yes, sir.
The weapons seem pretty good. They literally listen to feedback in a day. I'm glad they are listening to some things quicker. So this is good.
Yeah. Look,
Um,
best they could do, in my opinion, with free content in a delay spot. I can't get crazy on them. That's just how I've always looked at it. I was like, we got something that I was expecting to be in this whack long season with nothing to do, and I was okay with it because I was like, okay, it got delayed, the season got extended. It's gonna be a drought. Go play other games. It's cool. The fact that they were able to construct something that, I mean, again, is it like super substantial? No, but it's weapons. It's cool. It's an event. Can't get crazy, man. I can't go crazy. That's just how I felt about it.
no, I mean,
So,
in the time they
yeah.
got to make it, I mean, we said some of this last time too. It was like the
Yeah.
time that they had to make this. It's like some people are like, oh, it's reused. I'm like, they had 2 months. Like,
2
there's not
months.
artists making crazy things. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, some artists had to rework the levels and stuff, but all of this stuff is existing in the game, and they managed to make something that a lot of people have asked for in a horde mode. Do I wish the horde mode had like varieties of turrets and things besides just trip mines and the
Yeah,
decoys? Do
of
I wish there
course.
was more variety? Of course I do. But maybe in 2 months, maybe they update. And that was one thing. Did we talk about that last week?
Which one?
Kind of one of those things is like, it feels like it's kind of a, a beta release of the horde mode, could be some more
Right.
varieties and stuff like that. But also, once they put something out, they don't like revisit things a lot.
Right,
Dares of
right.
Eternity is still same thing it was a couple
Yeah.
years ago. So it's like there could be a future for this thing, but it doesn't feel like they tend to refresh a lot of stuff either.
Well, they're in a catch-22 because a lot of times if they do, then they'll get accused. Oh, you're just reusing the same thing again. So I get it with the always trying to do something new and create a mode kind of thing. So it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Listen, of course, Horde mode is one of my favorite modes in games. I remember when Gears kind of did that, and I really enjoyed that kind of thing.
Because you just get to turn your brain off.
It's like defend the spot, put up your little barbed wire, put up your little decoys. And then what I like about it is testing your builds when it progressively gets harder. Which builds are actually effective when it's on, right? And at the highest difficulty. That's always been my thing. So yeah, that kind of stuff I always like horde modes from the jump. So I've always wanted Destiny.
Like horde modes. I don't know that I've played any first-person shooter that's had a good one.
I mean, is Zombies kind of considered one? Like Call of Duty Zombies, is that going to be probably like the closest that I could think of?
Like I said, I have not played a FPS with a good one.
Well, okay, there are variations of reviews on Zombies.
Zombies sucks, dude.
I was like, some people really like it. Some people definitely have issues with it.
They're
heard
coming at you, not coming at you, but they're asking, hey, try a firefight in Halo. How did you feel?
I don't know. I guess Firefight. I just wouldn't call Firefight a horde mode in most of its iterations. Like in Halo 5, I definitely don't think it's a horde mode. It's kind of just like a PvE cooperative activity. And then in Halo 3 ODST, where it originated from, I would say that that's an example of a kind of bad one. Like, I love ODST, but that mode is kind of underdeveloped. Like, it was definitely a 1.0 version of it. Because I guess it's just in a lot of what I think makes a good horde mode is your ability to kind of like build up your defenses and do that sort of thing. And you don't really do that in Halo. You do it in Gears, right? Like you build out turrets and you build out fortresses. And to me, there's like a little bit of like a tower defense to a good horde mode. And I can't think of any FPSs where I feel like that's the case. So
I am intrigued to play it. I'm curious.
Oh, you said Payday 2? No, what?
I don't think that's a horde mode.
Yeah, I get what he's meaning. What he's saying though, when you get like your heat rating up, and they just keep coming at you.
Oh, I mean that's fair.
I wouldn't call that a horde mode.
I would call that
and also definitely not a good one.
Yeah, accidental tower defense game.
That's you're playing Payday 2 wrong. I think that's what I would describe that as.
Fail state.
Minecraft, interesting. Think about that.
I mean, we get tower defense.
We get a mod.
Like 10 or 11 weapons that I think a lot of people can find some good rolls on. We're going to get some exotic missions back, possibly with something being craftable. Still not entirely sure which ones, but the varieties. The attunement, so focus grinding will be good depending on what you're going for.
Shinies, double rolls.
Yeah, we got the shinies. They're going to be from quests and then also drops. We have fast feedback and listening by Bungie with regards to the tweets. I mean, I don't have a lot to complain about. Some people can find little things here and there. Again, it was made in what, 2-3 months?
Yeah.
And you're getting something to do. Play it as much or as little as you like. But I will tell you, if they're going to come out with something before Final Shape to try and get people to log in, they at least made as many of the perks viable as possible. There's not like 1 or 2 weapons and then you don't care about the rest. Like I listed off most combinations for some of those. Like if you got a forbearance, there's still probably like 9 others I'm going to go after.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I am impressed with what they were able to come up with. And thing is, like, if they managed to polish up a couple, even one of the older exotics that's like pre-engine, and they got a couple maps coming out a little faster as well. They're putting in the work. I really think they're putting in the work right now, and with what they are able to do with the limited resources, I think the seasonal team, like Tom Farnsworth is part of the seasonal team, and that type of content, 30th anniversary, he's done all of those types of things. The bigger focus on Final Shape still remains, and hopefully this extra time is buying them something that's going to drop with a cool release. Love to see Travis give it, that great review. See if it can at least go out with a little bit of a bang.
I'm praying.
I mean, we're all praying.
Yeah,
I think at this point, wouldn't be on the show if we didn't have at least a hope that it was going to go all right. But
yeah, cautious optimism. That's the last 10 years of Destiny.
Yeah, pretty much.
I would say cautious pessimism, but I'm always hoping that they'll do it. I'm always hoping
you might be the cautious pessimist, but
yeah, I'm always hoping that they'll do well. But in my head, I'm like, probably not though. You can't get hurt if you have low expectations.
I mean, that's fair.
And that's
but,
when I came coming into the light. I didn't have any. And I'm like,
yeah.
okay. This,
Yeah.
all right. I can
Pleasantly,
rock with this.
pleasantly surprised
Pleasantly
with what we're
surprised.
getting.
That's how I
Exactly.
look at it. Yeah.
And
I had
then
no faith in this.
and then the 1 day turnaround on or 2 day turnaround. Well, no,
Turnaround
1
on
day because it
feedback.
was
Yeah,
yesterday.
1
I'm
day.
like, all right.
Yeah.
So they're
Mhm.
not totally tone deaf, which I appreciate because
Yeah.
you know we've had those
And
moments
salute
too.
Salute to Farnsworth. I want to give credit to that because I miss Bungie doing live streams. I've always,
Oh yeah.
since the days of Deej, like I
So does
love
CJ.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
seeing CJ up there, it was so cool, and to see them having fun again. And I love, again, keep forgetting the gentleman's name, Andy, and great energy, having fun, showing the content. People who are playing the game know the game well. That's my thing,
Yeah.
and knowing the inside jokes, having little stuff, a vault full of edge transits. It was like little nuances to the hardcore Destiny player that you're like, all right, this is what we play for. This is what we like. And yeah, I thought they did a fantastic job presenting. And now we got one more, right? Which will be, next week. We'll see how they close out. Minus 2 tokens in the blue, Zenthos. You ain't had to do that. You ain't had to bring that up.
That was a great stream.
We've lived through that. I mean, that was the days of Deej, though. I mean,
Yes,
you want to talk about rolling with
Deej.
rolling with a gut punch, man. That is like,
hey, they were right though. That was their most rewarding event so far.
It was. I mean, Destiny had like.
Unironically, at that point in Destiny, it was their most rewarding.
Destiny
event.
has been one heck of a journey. So it's there's some memories in there. I forget about 2 tokens of blue, mostly because I think I blocked it out, but I still forget about it sometimes.
I remember that because it was like, like the kid thought, the kid presents you something, they feel like they did something. It's like, hey, like tonight, we were like, bro.
I mean, is that like 6 years ago? 2 tokens of blue, because that would be Curse.
Yeah, that was Curse.
Yeah, it's probably close to about 6, 7 years ago. Something that's a long time, man. Because with the delays, it's been a 10-year saga, but each delay has kind of squeezed it out to about 11. Outsanity with the $5 super chat. Will you all be playing past the final shape, or are you stopping after seeing how the saga ends? I'm always gonna be covering something with Destiny, because I mean, unless somehow I turn into a different channel, but I'm still gonna be playing it, even if like my coverage is less or something happens on the channel or just other things.
Let's have some cautious pessimism. So let's just say, not that they Nightfall 2.0, but like, what we say
it's bad.
Yeah, like let's say it's like, what would we say is one that we had our expectations besides Nightfall, like a Shadowkeep, maybe? It's like,
Shadowkeep now would be a rough pill to swallow.
Oh yeah, that'd be tough.
So let's say we get a Shadowkeep final shape.
That's rough, man.
Yeah, I mean that'd be rough. I mean, look, I will play Destiny when people pay me to play it, which is my relationship with it now. I mean, I just like, if there's a paycheck involved, sure, I'll play Destiny. It's
hashtag Bungie creator.
There's a lot worse you could do with your time for money. Trust me, I used to make money in much dirtier ways when I was in college.
Hey, you played Nerf Legends.
That's right. I played Nerf Legends. I mean, that was not worth what I got paid for that game.
What was the game that had like the split multiplayer and single player? The one got a 3, one got a 2.
Oh, that was Crossfire.
X. That's the
other one.
Yeah.
You played that as well. Those were pretty brutal. And you recently played
honestly, I think the worst use of my money was I got paid $500 to review Testament: The Order of the High Human.
What is that game? And I don't
that game was a 30-hour game. Like, at least Nerf Legends and Crossfire X I got done in like a couple days, but like that took, I think, a week and a half. It was like a significant period of time, and it was real bad. Oh my God,
would that have been a 1? Would that have been a 1?
No, that was 2. That was a 2 out of 10. Okay. I haven't given a 1. Yeah, I've never given a 1. In fact, IGN has only given 1 in the past 12 years, and it was to the day before or whatever.
Yeah, the day before, because that was
the day before got scam. A 1, and deservedly. And I'm kind of pissed off I wasn't the one that got to review it. So
you needed that in your list.
Because that's the only score I haven't given now. At the time, I had only not given a 1 and a 10. I just
do you guys even have a 0, or is there like
9.
no point in that? That seems like a stupid.
No,
question.
a zero does not exist on a 1 to 10 point scale.
Here's a game that did not come out. There was nothing to play.
Yeah, I guess that would be a 0. An NA.
Like Shadowkeep would be Shadowkeep would be a tough thing to swallow now.
Uh,
Lightfall would be even a tough thing to swallow for the
Whoa.
iconic ending. Like, this is the thing. Like, the weight you're putting on this, people want a Witch Queen or a Taken King. Now, granted, you can take, like,
Yeah.
what parts of that you didn't like. The seasonal part of Witch Queen may not have been the strongest, whatever it may be.
Mm.
But the combination is also, you've got Final Shape, 2 weeks, new episode, 6 weeks worth of content supposedly going, bam.
Mm.
So you're also getting that 2 weeks later. So the combination of both of those within 15 days, a raid somewhere sitting in the middle, the new planet destination we're going to go to, whatever story beats we're going to get, all of that's going to happen.
I feel like
It's a lot.
I feel like fans are going to be especially harsh on the Final Shape if it doesn't deliver, because when every other expansion has failed to deliver, there's always been the caveat of, well, you know, they're building to this epic conclusion.
True.
And you can say that about Lightfall. You could definitely say
Good
that about
point.
Shadowkeep, because Shadowkeep was all prelude. It was like, oh, it's this new opening chapter into the final act of Destiny, right? That was kind of how it was presented. And I, you know, as a professional critic, I like to think I treat all games and expansions equally in terms of how harsh I am on them, which is why sometimes fans of the game get mad at me, because they're like, oh, it was fine because it wasn't the, you know, finale or whatever. But yeah, I think even if it's middling, they're screwed. I think even if it's good, not great, which we've heard from people who work at the studio that's
Right,
kind of
right,
where the
yeah.
game was a couple months ago.
Right.
If it ends up being good, not great, I think they're toast, because you know, I keep drawing the comparison to the MCU post Thanos, but I really think there's a chance that this just goes that way. I hope I'm wrong, obviously. I mean, I just hope the game's good. I hope they just crush it.
Yeah.
And then I'll be the first one to give them their roses. But yeah,
we know you'll keep it fair. We know that. So.
It is scary for them. I would be scared if I worked at Bungie.
Yeah.
I mean, there's rumors of lots of crap going around out there, but I mean, it also feels like if Final Shape doesn't do well, not going to be, I mean, the studio could be facing some struggles and stuff like that, just because I don't think there's a question that there's a good amount of weight on the expansion. Is it make or break for the studio? They've got Marathon, they've got Sony, like they're going to be there, but I mean, there's rumors of layoffs and those things. You don't know any weight to any of that, but is this a very important expansion, even financially for the studio? I definitely think it will be a factor depending on how things go in the future. So they have to try and put their best foot forward. I just wonder what we're going to get. Do you guys remember we're getting subjugators in there? Those new Tormentor variants of Strand and Stasis, crowd control.
Crowd control.
Basically all we're getting, as far as we know, in terms of the sandbox.
Yeah.
As far as the sandbox and new enemies. Yeah, because, you know, the success of it is very vital for them, especially being able to maintain the integrity of their board. Because I'm not confident if they were taken over by Sony based on their online history. Is my fear. I don't think they have experience in that. I'm not saying they don't know how to manage studios, not saying that the games that they make are not good, but what Bungie does is very unique. And that's another reason why selfishly I'm pulling for them. I would like them to retain their identity and not be majority rules if it didn't hit expectation. But we'll see. It's a lot. It's a lot of pressure. I know that's wishing on a star. There's a lot. What Travis said is correct, because even if it's good, they could still be in trouble. Like
I was like, good might not be good enough. That's
good enough.
Yeah,
right.
I don't think good is good enough when you make people wait 10 years for this ending. I think it has to deliver.
I agree.
Well, that's probably a good place to wrap this one up. Chat, you guys have been
No pressure, Bungie.
Busy.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure, Bungie. No big deal.
No pressure.
There's not a lot of weight. I mean, Bungie has been delivering mid content for 3 to 4 years. Oof. Well, I think you also said that after Final Shape that you were out too, so we'll see.
I mean, I think it's hard to say that across the board unless you're just being disingenuous, because, I mean, Witch Queen showed that the studio still has life in them. So, I mean, you can be out. I wouldn't blame anyone for being out, even if the Final Shape was great, because sometimes you want to end with something great, and you don't want to risk further heartbreak or burnout. But like, if you've been playing Destiny for 10 years and you stuck around to the Final Shape and you just are like exhausted and want to stop playing afterward, like, I get that.
Yeah, and I think that's something they can't get. they can't avoid that. That's one thing too, is like there are X number of people, as you said, they want to cross that 10-year finish line, and then they're just gonna kind of be like, all right, now what's the rest of this world look like that they haven't seen in 10 years? Or I mean, we were joking last time, and I've talked to other people and stuff like, hey, what other games do you play? And they don't. Destiny people are this weird little bubble sometimes, and there are some people that are going to finally get to a point where they feel like they can actually, you know, set it down for an extended period of time. Maybe they'll be like, hey, if there's a Destiny 3, I'll come back. Not too worried about episodes. I got to take out the Witness. And that's where I wonder population numbers, how they do with episodes, because the exodus on whatever level it is, post final shape, is going to happen. And I just don't know what that's going to do.
Yeah.
Big, small, or otherwise, there's some part of the population that's just going to be done.
Yeah, of course. That's how it goes, man. Live service is a tough business. They've been doing it a long time.
Yep. All right. Yeah. So next week will we get to talk about your thing?
Yeah, I'm announcing the game on
Nice.
Tuesday, and then I have my first like big article video thing on Thursday. So
Nice.
announcement on Tuesday, which will come with a piece of content, and then another piece of content on
So
Thursday.
world
That's really all
premiere.
I can't even.
And a
World
world
premiere
premiere
on
exclusive
Tuesday.
discussion Thursday night here on The Last Word for
Thursday night, last word. We're gonna have a world premiere chat about.
Now, you know what?
About
If you would like to at some point bring the developer onto the podcast, we would be happy to discuss this with him.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely can't do that in April.
Well, no,
I
I know.
exclusive agreement with us.
I'm saying like
exclusive agreement with IGN, but yeah,
I'm guessing this game isn't
Yeah.
probably coming out that soon, so we probably got some time is all.
yeah. Usually games don't come out right after you announce them. That is true.
I think the only one that did that is like Fallout 4 3 months later. Here you go.
I mean, there's games that have stealth dropped the same day they
True.
were announced.
What was it? Hi-Fi was stealth? Was
Hi-Fi
that
Rush?
day of? Yeah.
That was day of. Yep. There's actually quite a few examples of that over the years, but
Yeah.
usually if you're a small indie studio making your first game, you don't have the ability to do that.
Random shout out, by the way, because Devolver Digital always does some cool stuff. They dropped Pepper Grinder, I think it's called. It looks like a platformer from them publishing it, at least. I kind of want to see that too. Trying to see what you guys gave it. I haven't had a chance to touch it yet.
What is it?
So, you guys gave it a 7. It's like platformer kind of 2D thing, but you have this like drill, so everything is these like paths that you go around, but you can kind of like hop in the air. It's Devolver though, so I feel like I always have to check it out.
Yeah, they usually got a good track record.
Devolver knows what's up.
Yeah.
I think the biggest one I'm looking forward from them is the Plucky Squire, just because that 2D, 3D popping out of the book kind of thing looks cool. But yeah, there.
I think the only massive game I'm looking forward to this year is Hades 2.
That'll be good. Okay, so
Yeah.
random question before we sign off. Did you play the early access to the first one? Because I only played it when it was like full release.
Yeah.
How much was in their early access? Because I feel like on Hades 2, I got the complete package, which was fantastic. So I wonder.
Hades 1.
Yeah.
So when you say early access, do you mean the version that just dropped on the Switch? Like you didn't play the Switch version?
No, I think I only played it on PC. Was Switch like a 1.0 release then too? It just was only Switch first.
Yeah, I think it was a 1.0 release, but yeah, it came on Switch like maybe 6 months sooner or something like that.
Okay. I don't know why I thought it was like in early access for a while some other way. So maybe
No, I think you're just thinking that it dropped on Switch and then you considered that early access, because I don't remember it ever being an early access.
Okay.
But also that studio Supergiant?
Yeah.
Supergiant, yeah. I don't think Supergiant does early access games. I don't think they've done it before anyway.
Well, I thought Hades 2 was going.
Hades 2 or Hades 1?
Hades 2. I don't know why I thought it was doing development updates.
I don't think they've announced that. I could be wrong. I know the game's coming out this year.
Early
Q4.
access. See, they said it. Okay, early access starts in Q2. I don't know what
Q2.
that means for
Interesting.
them.
Okay. Yeah, well, the game's coming out this year in
Yeah.
Q4 fully. I think I'm reviewing No Rest for the Wicked in early access. That should be fun.
That's one I really want to play so bad. That early access is like April 18th or something. Yeah.
Yeah, should be soon. I think
Yeah.
it might be the next review on my list. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
There's one review that I've got later in April. I might
Somebody
get
says
access to that.
Hades was early access for a year.
Oh.
If this was pre-Switch, I did not know that.
Mm.
I just played it when it came out on the Switch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No Rest for the Wicked. I will be jumping into that
Oh.
day one. That looks so
Oh, yeah.
good. I know.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think
In
Miss
early
Fi-
access.
Yeah. I was like, I watched the previews of that. I know Miss 5000 Watts. I think she had the most playtime on it, like kills and stuff. I watched her streams a lot. It just, I mean, the team that did Ori, so you can see their style just all over it. And then the fact they're doing kind of an isometric, like action Souls-like, it looks really cool. That's all I know. So I'm really, really, really pumped for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Moon Studio, not surprising. They're putting out something that looks fantastic. And then Exploration, that is really, really high on my list for April. And the other one that's high on my list for April is Tales of Kinzera Zao. That's the other one I'm looking forward to.
Yes. Oh, yes. That looks really
I'm
good.
looking forward to a game called Another Crab's Treasure, where you play as a crab under the sea, and
Isn't
it's
it
a Souls-like.
Yes, I saw
Yeah.
this. I was trying, because they're
Yeah.
like, hey, we'll send some codes out to creators. I was trying to get after them because I'm
I
like,
obviously immediately was like, let me review that, Tom. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be reviewing that as well.
if you get, I was like, that was one I tried because I think it's late April too, like timing wise. I think they said it's in a month.
Somewhere in April. Yeah.
I was trying to throw my name in that hat too because I'm like, all right, a Crab Souls, like I got to see what this is all about. This seems ridiculous.
Yeah, I like it because pretty much every Souls-like has the exact same mood. It's like dark and things are gritty.
You're not wrong.
And it's like we're really missing a Souls-like that's colorful and stupid, and so I'm really looking forward to that. If you haven't seen this game in action, look up Another Crab's Treasure. I'm pretty sure they're going to make me review Killer Clowns from Outer Space because that's such a Travis game.
Yes.
And then
It
I'm
does feel
already
like
I'm already on Squirrel with a Gun, which is another
I have an eye on
Travis
that
game,
one.
so.
Yeah. The other one that I want to play and feedback on it looks good. Talked about this before because the demo is going to be out tomorrow. Is the skin suit game Stellar Blade? And that is like, I will tell you, the action, like the parry, the feedback, and everything, the combat looks like the combat is well done, but you cannot play that game with having something like a post-it note up. I'm playing it for the articles kind of thing. I feel like that's the energy you have with that game, and it's just like sad because the combat looks well done, but I'm going, why do you have to have the longest legs and non-supported chest area, stellar cheeks? Yeah, exactly. They focused on her backside because they knew that's where the player was going to look. Like, come on. If the combat is good, I'm going to be annoyed that it's like you have to apologize for playing the game. It's kind of frustrating, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, that game lost my interest as soon as that guy opened his mouth and said that. I was just like, I'm good. I don't want to hang out with these creepos.
Let him go for his creative vision, Trav.
The little demo I got to play.
He can go for his creative vision, and I can say I think your creative vision is creepy and gross. I don't want to play it.
Yeah, I played the demo for like 20 minutes, and like graphics wise, just like even when the spaceship is going through the sky, it actually looks really like high detail, was running smooth. But as soon as you're like, yep, there she is, it's hard not to just,
appreciate human anatomy.
Yes.
The detail.
Yeah, I'm about to be able to do like a virtual autopsy here with like nothing left to question. So anywho, yeah, so April again continues to keep us busy. I would probably say one of my biggest games I'm looking forward to, because you said Hades, that's got to be up there, no question. Black Myth Wukong, I want to see if they can land that plane. That's the other one because ambitious. I think that's the right word, ambitious.
Is that the problematic studio in China with all
that's
the
that
workplace complaints?
Yeah, that's that one.
Me too. Hope it's great.
Yeah, hope the game is great and hope they fix that stuff too.
Hope all those people that died over the hot coals of that game are, hope their sacrifice was worth it.
Also, Balatro, still fantastic. I still jump into that occasionally.
Still a great game.
Yeah, that is one that like
coming to the phone. Mobile phone.
Yeah, goodbye everybody.
It should be great. Yeah.
Somebody's like Silk Song coming soon. That game's never coming out, man.
Yeah,
not this year.
I gave up. I'm like, when is this thing? I play that thing.
It'll come out the same year as
I
the
think
Switch
Xbox.
too,
Xbox got a little screwed on that announcement. And be like, coming in the next 12 months. Be like, what's not?
Yeah, that part.
I mean, it's one of those things. You work with smaller studios, you get burned when you try to dance around release dates. Like they did the same thing with Cuphead, where they announced it and then it got delayed like 4 times, and it was at like 3 of their E3s. Yeah,
that's a fact.
All right, well, we have lots of games to play, and April will keep us busy as well. But please, everybody, big one, go check out IG on April 2nd. I want his content to explode. So spread the word, share it, like it, send it to your friends. Huge numbers for this man. He's putting in IGN first back to back. So big deal.
Not necessarily. We're not really sure what's happening. The game that was going to be the May IGN first got delayed, and so we are not doing a cover story on it this year.
Okay, well, IGN first now and later. How's that?
Yeah, now and at some point.
Now and at some point in the future. Got it. All right, everybody. You guys got anything else for the outro?
Good to go, bro.
Watch Cog's videos.
Yes, watch Cog's videos, all his coverage. I want to see the you guys record everything from your live stuff, so I want to see that when it comes out.
I think our PAX panel was the most fun. Maddie pulled up,
Nice.
a bunch of content creators from Boston and stuff like that. That was cool, kind of discussing all the little
Like
gems on
Dom
the show.
played, with
the good gaming.
awesome
guys, awesome guys. Yeah, check that out. And got a chance to interview Major Nelson for the first time over at Midwest Games, and I like what those guys are doing because they're like,
oldest man in the industry.
Yeah, he was ready to talk. He was like, "Cog, he said, he's like, you've got their first exclusive since I've left Xbox." So, you know, he wanted to talk. He was cool, man. So yeah, that's up. What ILP checked.
Forgot he left.
Yeah. He's like 20 years, and the thing is, what I like is serving the underserved development communities outside of the West Coast, where it's like Midwest and East Coast, you know, and trying to, you know, get them tax breaks and things of that nature to develop games. So they're doing some cool things. They have some cool games over there.
Well, Travis, you got anything else besides probably everything you mentioned?
Yeah, watch April 2nd. Huge announcement, new game, and look at my Dune GDC preview, Dune Awakening, and look at my reviews if you were thinking about playing either of those games. Yeah,
cool.
All right, and for me, I'll be streaming Rise of the Ronin, playing some other stuff on and offline that you guys will see more from me soon. So watch all of the respective channels and, you know, give everybody all the views and links and clicks. Like and subscribe, right?
Like, subscribe.
All right, thank you guys for watching. This one's been fantastic. We are on 290. 300 is not that far. We are inching ever closer. We will get this man to episode 301, and then we will shut the show down. So I hope you'll enjoy the last episodes. We've only got 11 left. And then we're going to get to 301 and just, you know, kind of... No, I'm kidding. Anyway, we'll go as long as you guys enjoy being here and as long as the time makes sense. So we'll keep it going for as long as we can. On that note, thank you guys for watching. Hope you're listening or watching wherever you are. Have an excellent one. And we are... I'm just kidding. I'm not going to actually do that. I was going to be like, and we are out. Nope, I got to... Can't end it weird. It's got to be like, and it has been... The last word.